They're definitely the real cheat. Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
All right, we've got the players here. This is it. The final two. You guys have made it all the way to the end. It's been a long day. PotWasher, how are you feeling about your opponent, MofuMocha? Enough said.
Yes.
Enough said. Mofu, are you scared of Highlander PotWasher?
I respect it very much. There are many skeletons in this man's deck.
Okay, well, he just respects skeletons.
All right. Well, I think they are both men of short words today. You know, short statements. I think we should just kick it right off.
All right. Well, they're about ready to go. Let's get this match underway. This is the final match to see which charity will be receiving $1,000 and which will be receiving $500. And of course, both these players, kind of prominent members of the community. PotWasher from Disastra kind of helps a lot of players learn the game. Also streams a little bit on the side. He's very involved in the community in that way. And MofuMocha, a beloved commentator on the Shadowverse Open.
Great commentator, lover of card games, has a wonderful partner that puts out a lot of good artist renderings of everything Shadowverse related, so definitely a great team there, and everybody loves Mofu.
Yeah. That's the new show. That's the new show name.
That's right.
That's the new show name. All right, we're jumping into it. All right, so I think, okay, we'll see Mofu's bones.
PotWasher's already sweating. Look at him. He's taking those deep breaths. He's like, can my skeletons beat his skeletons?
Really, I mean, this mulligan can tell a lot. Not a good start for MofuMocha.
He didn't have a good start last game either.
Yeah.
Yeah. But apparently they just win.
Yeah.
I guess when you have an undead army fighting for you, you're in a pretty good spot.
So we've seen him. I feel like we've seen him draw Atomy within the first few turns in every single match today.
And he actually oh no.
Oh.
Now he's drawing the cards we haven't seen him draw in Haunted House, Cerberus, Ektar. Not the right times for these.
All right. If he actually doesn't get strong enough options soon, that Shadow Reaper could have a lot of time, and especially with how many tokens Mofu is going to be creating.
Yep.
That could turn for the worst.
This is a scary situation for PotWasher. I think he's already feeling it. He doesn't have any cards that generate any value, card draw. He does have a Grimnir for next turn, so he's not completely dead or anything like that. But yeah, not producing any threats is just giving Mofu enough time. And as we've seen, if you give Mofu enough time, it's not good for you.
A lot of his cards are animated. Look at that.
They are. I think that was probably a good reason as to why he played this. Maybe he wanted to play a lot of skeletons, but he's also like, you know what? Most of my skeletons are animated.
He likes them bones.
Yeah.
So how would you play out this turn? You've got a 2-drop. You can do a 2+1 on turn 3, then Catacomb. Is that what you would go for, or do you want to squeeze the Shadow Reaper in there somewhere?
All depends on this turn. Knowing what we know and the Grimnir coming out, I think you have to play the Shadow Reaper. Otherwise, you're not really ever going to get good value out of it. And it allows your bad trade to turn into a good trade.
Right.
Otherwise, you're just kind of losing the 2/2. I wouldn't say for free, because it's still getting the damage on the Grimnir, but it's kind of free because the Grimnir will be able to take out something else as well.
This is also a situation where we're going second, so turn 4 is the evolution turn. And we actually talked about that for PotWasher. One of his Shadow Reapers was shut down, and he couldn't really optimize the double drop with Illyriel and the Dark Conjurer on the Evo turn. Not that Mofu has those cards necessarily in hand, but that evolution can really force out a lot of kind of followers and things that you force your opponent to trade into that they wouldn't normally really like to do.
Absolutely, and I feel like this is the type of game where you got to consider your options, right? It's like if I don't play the Shadow Reaper this turn, am I ever really going to get value out of it? And it looks like he's going to opt just to put enough pressure on board to where the Grimnir doesn't matter as much. This is a fine play too. This will set up for more of a Prince Catacomb type of turn, I think is what he's aiming for.
Yep.
And PotWasher's hand still looking kind of stinky right now, but it will start to kick into high gear next turn.
He has some card draw. Pure-Hearted Singer is actually a very good card for that.
It is. But it does not contest the board in the way that he would want to at the moment.
All right, we're back in Tempest of the Gods here.
That's right. Prince Catacomb battles.
Double follower Catacomb play here.
So I think he still has similar options. Yeah, Shadow Reaper plus the Skeleton Fighter is pretty good. Then you can push some damage here. And if your opponent wants to trade back, they're going to take even more damage.
Yep. Of course, that Shadow Reaper in ambush, so can't be interacted with, and as far as I know, no Lurching Corpse and any way to pop it.
Not this time.
Maybe a Necro Assassin, but even then, you're going to have to clear board to try to, you know, or you swing for a chance at it.
So Serb is probably best saved until next turn. So maybe Goblin Princess this turn, trade into the 4/4, trade into the 2/2 with your leftover followers to produce a ward in your hand, and then you have the option between Serb and ward next turn.
Yeah. You know, one thing that's kind of, we're really feeling the effect of it here is that 1-drop 2/2 on the Necromancy.
Yeah.
Is actually, it's so frustrating to deal with right now. I mean, look at the board state.
It's unassuming, but like when you think about it, every play point realistically adds up to 1/1 in stats, right? When you can cheat that, especially with putting it on an extra body, it feels really powerful on specific tempo turns, absolutely.
Alright, so it looks like the Shadow Reaper is going to be lifting more weights here.
Yeah, looks like PotWasher goes through with the plan that I was thinking. Which means that Shadow Reaper is huge.
Yeah.
But there's not really any backup for it. I think he's just going to Evo and go face, get that damage in while he can.
Yeah, and make it very tough to swing over here. Okay, he's spreading stats.
Okay.
Dance, dear bones of white.
I don't mind this play. I guess it's more just so that these goblins don't take over the board. Which seems kind of funny, but they could with just the Prince Catacomb left over, not being buffed. Ooh, that was a really good draw.
Yeah, it's going to allow him to focus on taking out the Shadow Reaper. Then the Catacomb will fall. The only issue is you have to wait until end of turn, so ideally you would take down the Catacomb and then Goblin into the Skeleton.
You can also play it alongside of Haunted House to get more efficient trades this turn, if you wanted to. However, you would be putting Haunted House down going into your Ektar turns, which isn't always the best. Okay, looks like he is going to go through with it here. This basically guarantees board control and damage to face this turn.
Yep.
I'm coming for you.
The bones embrace me.
I like that. The Ghost to take it down so you maintain your Goblin.
I'm sorry, no damage to face, but we'll be able to clear the board. Discounted by 1 there.
There it is. And there it is. He's tilting. Can't be playing zombies.
Yeah, zombies, first of all,
Skeletons in a blanket, he says.
yeah, not okay.
That's really stretching it.
Yeah, that is. And honestly, I think we're going to see Mofu run out of gas here. I think he might actually bend to the will of PotWasher's Highlander deck. There can only be one, as a Highlander would say.
Do you think he... I mean, if he can save his Evolve, the Mordecai Evolve with that swing back, I mean, I guess Ektar will kill you.
It can, but I mean, look at the options that PotWasher has access to now.
Yeah, this is bad. The fact that he could zombie party here means Ektar is real dangerous.
And there's not a real way to deal with this board.
Oh! That's an interesting choice.
Not anywhere close to 20 shadows to turn that into the 13/13 monster that we've come to adore.
So how would you play this? Would you just get the one zombie and then try to Mordecai Evolve the next turn and hope that your 20 health is enough?
Well, this is tough because, I mean, if you don't respect Ektar, Ektar can kill you. But it's hard to respect Ektar because it's a Highlander deck, right? And it looks like he isn't going to respect it.
Wow.
Which is super interesting. Now,
I wonder what PotWasher's thinking now, though.
right, why did he just attack me for 3? Was that definitely tired?
And he's saving the Evo Orb, too.
All right. I'd be scared.
Yeah.
That's a very scary, like, that's one of those plays where you think you're losing and you just kind of do something and you make your opponent think, and maybe they just start misplaying from then on.
Yeah. Interesting. Interesting situation. I definitely think PotWasher, I mean, with our information, is very far ahead right now.
He's super far ahead. He could do some shenanigans with Haunted House and Ektar, but it looks like he's just going to draw some cards this turn instead.
Wow. I think giving turns is going to be really tough here. So he has 1, 2, 3, 4. And the ward.
I don't mind this at all. I don't think the Mordecai is enough to bring Mofu back in this game.
Well, I think really this is locking him in.
Yeah.
Right? You know?
This is also emptying that board space so that Ektar can be played into a clear board. And I think the only play Mofu has right now is to get that Mordecai in play.
He doesn't want the skeleton to watch.
He doesn't want him. He doesn't want to see his brothers die here. It's not good.
That's interesting. So he needs to. Wow. How many Deathly Tyrants is he running in his list? Because if he doesn't respect this plus Deathly Tyrant could just end it.
Oh man, he's got all of the endgame tools to finish the game now. But yeah, it is scary, right? You're at 9. That Mordecai is essentially a guaranteed 5 damage.
You have to search for. You would get exactly 4 there. I like this choice of drawing the cards here.
Wow, finds a Ceres as well. Maybe decides to play this.
Interesting.
Usher gets
the Saber Altar.
Ah, okay.
Just enough to play a 2, and that's actually going to reset the Mordecai.
While also being able to push face damage and setting up for Nektar lethal next turn. I like it. And it puts the ward in play. Yeah, this
that's
is a very
huge
smart play.
turn. That's a very good find on PotWasher's part. One of every single card.
And just understands, you know, he's like, you know, what was the last card that I had that died? That makes sense with Usher. Oh, I have a ward. Now I get to play 2. So this is kind of how you cheat with Highlander. You get to play it again.
So he can take down 2 cards here. So it's going to be 2, 1, 2. So that's 5 plus 6, 11. So he's dead.
He's dead?
Yeah.
So Mofu not making it. The Highlander deck showing that it
there
is
it
the deck.
It was very close.
That was a very close game.
This was very close. PotWasher will end up winning it. Oh.
Poor Skelly. Poor Skelly.
There it is. The skeleton was eventually stopped. PotWasher takes first place in the Shadowverse Charity Deckstravaganza.
As Mofu rips that skeleton apart. We literally saw him dismember that thing. I think he was super angry about his loss. However, he was super nice about turning the head away, so I'm not sure how to feel about it.
Yeah. He's...
Oh.
Mofu, did you just give up the skeleton life?
I don't know what you're talking about. This has been me this whole time.
He's gonna disregard everything today. We're already past it.
Okay, well, this was a phase. I'm gonna call it a phase.
Yeah.
He's gonna... Mofu, tell us a little bit about the charity that you're supporting one last time. You've won $500 for taking second place here. Talk to me a little bit about literacy.
Literacy. It's a very important skill, and many people don't really know this fact about it. But as a person grows older, they begin to lose the sort of developmental processes in the brain that make it very easy to learn language, especially speaking, reading, and writing. So I think it's very important that people have the resources, no matter their background, to develop these sorts of skills at an early age. So I'm happy to say that I've won at least second place for Foundation centered around that.
Congratulations.
And it was a fantastic performance.
That's right. Fantastic.
A very classy, knowledgeable, glasses-wearing skeleton.
That's right.
PotWasher.
PotWasher! Yes!
First place winner.
Yes!
First place winner for the Wikimedia Foundation. How did you feel this tournament must have been such a journey for you? How are you feeling at the end of the day here?
Inland, I had a lot of really good cards in my deck, and compared to some of the more creative choices and the overall theme of the deck and things, individual card choices, I definitely had a lot to work on in the entertainment value criteria. Well, it's not a complete victory by any means.
I mean, a one of every card in your deck. I think
I appreciate it. I mean, what I enjoyed about it was there were some very cool and nice combos that you were able to.
And we got to see you play a different game pretty much every game. So.
Yeah, I also enjoyed playing the games and playing the deck.
So tell me.
As a different.
Really quickly, tell me $1,000 to Wikimedia Foundation again. I just want to make sure that we go over it one more time for all the viewers out there so they know what kind of you're pushing for here. Tell us a little bit more about it.
knowledge for everyone in the world with access to internet. You can look up pretty much anything on any subject, and if it doesn't exist, you can write it in. And community supported. Of course, it's moderated more than it has been in the very, very a long time ago. You used to see a lot of questionable things, but recently there's a lot of really accurate information, and there's information on anything, and I like to keep it that way, you know?
Perfect.
It's something we take for granted. It helps us every day in our lives, and we rely upon it, but we don't think about it. We take it for granted. We take the internet and everything it offers for granted. So yeah, I like to support it.
Yeah.
Well, good.
Well, it's certainly a very worthy cause, right? Because what you know is all that you know.
I want to know if they have any final words for each other. Any good graces to wish your opponent here before we end off?
I have last thing to say, actually.
Go for it, Mofu. Okay. All right. We'll give it to him. Sure.
I can't hear, Exo.
My ears don't work anymore. All right. Well, thank you, Mofu, for that send-off. Yes, you guys were great. We enjoyed watching all of your games today. I
can't
can't even hold it in anymore.
Skeletons don't laugh.
That's right. Skeletons don't laugh.
I will never break character. What are you talking about?
Well, it's too late for that.
All right.
It's too
You're
late
just
for
gonna
that.
deny everything. All right. Cut. I don't want to look at
Let's
them
get out of
anymore.
here.
I don't want to see
Good job,
them.
guys. Charities are great. You guys are great.